not the greatest ever, and you see exactly why it comes crashing down.
Bull riding, the most dangerous 8 seconds in sports. But how did this brutal ballet of man versus beast become a global phenomenon? We're about to rope in over a century of bucking, brawling, and badassery in one wild ride. It all starts here, not in Texas, but in Spain and Mexico, centuries ago. Yep, the roots of bull riding are far older than the cowboy hat. Spanish conquistadors brought cattle and bullfighting traditions to the Americas in the 1500s. These weren't just battles to the death. Some featured trained riders who would dominate horsemanship by riding bulls to impress crowds. These early charreadas were part rodeo, part ritual, part chaos. In Mexico, the sport of jaripeo evolved, where brave souls would ride bulls not to kill them, but to show dominance and skill. The bull wasn't the villain, it was the opponent, the test. This idea crossed north with Spanish colonization, and by the 1800s, as ranching culture exploded in the American West, bull riding was starting to brew. Cowboys would compete in informal games of strength, speed, and nerve, trying to outdo each other between long cattle drives. One of those dares? Riding bulls. Of course, this was way before helmets, before padded vests, before bulls had names like Bushwhacker or Bodacious. It was just a guy, a rope, and a whole lot of pride.
Stop the landing! But look at this!
The birth of rodeo. By the late 1800s, Wild West shows were bringing cowboy culture to towns across America. Buffalo Bills shows made trick roping, bronc busting, and rodeo-style competition a traveling spectacle. And bull riding? It started showing up as a headline act. In Prescott, Arizona, in 1888, what many consider the first official rodeo was held. Bull riding wasn't always the main event, but it was the most jaw-dropping. It wasn't refined, it wasn't organized, but it was real. By the 1930s, the sport began to formalize. Rodeos became legitimate competitions with rules, scores, and judges. Cowboys started chasing trophies and paychecks. One of the key steps? The formation of the Rodeo Cowboys Association, RCA, in 1936, later renamed the Professional Rodeo Cowboys Association, PRCA. This gave rodeo and bull riding structure. But at this point, bull riding was still just one part of a bigger show. It was usually the last event, save for the end because of how explosive and unpredictable it was. The real money was in broncs, steer wrestling, and timed events. That was about to change.
You want to see explosive?
The Cowboys who changed the game. You can't talk about bull riding history without tipping your hat to Jim Shoulders, a man who won 16 world championships, including 7 in bull riding. In the 1950s, he was rodeo's first true superstar. Shoulders brought showmanship and dominance to bull riding and made it a fan favorite. Fast forward to the 1970s, and names like Don Gay were redefining the sport again. Gay was fearless. He didn't just ride bulls, he danced with them. And he didn't win just once. He won 8 world titles, a record that still holds. But while the Cowboys were earning respect, there was still one problem. They didn't have control. Promoters, stock contractors, and associations made the rules and kept the biggest slice of the pie. Enter the rebels. The PBR revolution. It's 1992. A group of 20 top bull riders, fed up with being underpaid and overlooked, hold a meeting. Their ideas? Create a league dedicated only to bull riding. No more sharing the spotlight with barrel racing and calf roping. Just bulls, just cowboys, just chaos. Each rider put in $1,000 to form the Professional Bull Riders, PBR. At first, the rodeo world scoffed, but within a few years, the PBR exploded. Prize money skyrocketed. TV deals rolled in. Sponsors followed. And suddenly, bull riders were earning millions, not thousands. The PBR changed everything. It wasn't just a sport, it was a spectacle. The bulls? Became legends too.
You want to see?
The bulls become superstars. Before PBR, bulls were anonymous brutes. In the new era, they were celebrities. Bodacious was the first icon, a 1,900-pound wrecking ball with a rocket under his rear end. Known for his vicious head-whipping buck, He broke bones, bruised egos, and retired as the world's most dangerous bull. He bucked off 77% of cowboys who dared. Then came Bushwhacker, 3-time world champion bull, unridden for 42 consecutive outs. His name alone struck fear and sold tickets. These weren't just bulls, they were athletes. PBR scored them just like the Cowboys. Half the points go to the rider, half go to the bull. If you don't believe animals can be competitive, you've never seen Bushwhacker shake his head after launching someone at the 7.9 second mark. Cowboy gear gets serious. Back in the early days, riders wore cowboy hats in pure guts. But bull riding is no joke. Over the decades, safety evolved. By the 1990s, padded vests became standard. These absorb blows and protect vital organs. Then came helmets, now widely adopted, especially for younger riders. Some purists mock the look, but when you're riding a freight train with horns, fashion isn't the priority. Even the ropes and gloves evolved, giving riders better grip and control. The bullfighters, formerly called rodeo clowns, now wear specialized gear and train for years to protect fallen riders. It's a team effort now.
Davis does it. He got tossed and then trampled.
The world takes notice. In the 2000s, bull riding went global. PBR expanded to Brazil, Mexico, Australia, and Canada, where local heroes battled it out on home soil. In Brazil, bull riding is massive. Riders like Silvano Alves and Kaique Pacheco became international champions and national icons. The fans are wild, the arena's packed, and the passion runs deep. In Australia, cowboys like Ben Jones brought grit and flair, and Canadian riders like Zane Lambert showed they could go boot to boot with the best. Bull riding became one of the only sports where a 19-year-old Brazilian could go head-to-head with a 35-year-old Texan in front of a screaming crowd in New York, and everyone speaking the same language. Hold on tight. Quick breather. Loving this ride through bull riding history? Grit, guts, and glory in every chapter. If this gets your blood pumping, make sure to subscribe and drop a comment with your favorite bull or rider of all time. Now back to the action. The big money era. The PBR World Finals became the Super Bowl of bull riding. The prize? A cool $1 million to the champion. In 2022, Da'Lon Swearingen rode his way to the top with ice in his veins and a broken back behind him. Riders today aren't just cowboys. They're athletes. They train year-round, travel across continents, and compete with science, coaching, and conditioning behind them. And yeah, there's still wrecks, still danger, but the level of skill is higher than ever. The top bulls are bred like racehorses. Their genetics are tracked. Their diets, their training, even their mental state, monitored. Pearl Harbor, Asteroid, Smooth Operator. These names are written in PBR history right next to the cowboys they threw. The modern stars. Today's stars are polished, media savvy, and global. Jose Vitor Leme took the sport by storm, combining Brazilian finesse with ironclad technique. He shattered scoring records and dominated events like it was personal. Jess Lockwood, a 2-time world champ, brought boyish charm and lethal rides. And Cooper Davis, with his all-American grit, became a fan favorite of a model of consistency. But it's not just about the pros. Across the US, local bull ridings are still alive and kicking, giving young guns a shot at greatness. The dream hasn't changed. Ride for 8 seconds, earn your name in lights.
Highbrow cat. Whoa! Causes a crash landing.
What's next for bull riding? Bull riding's future looks wilder than ever. In 2022, PBR launched the Team Series. Franchise teams like the Texas Rattlers and Nashville Stampede, going head-to-head like in pro sports. It brought rivalries, strategy, and loyalty to a solo sport. There's also a push toward better safety in animal care. Bulls are treated like royalty, receiving vet care, massages, and better treatment than most athletes. That's right, some of these bulls fly first class. And with streaming, TikTok, and YouTube, bull riding is finding new fans every day. A 15-year-old in Tokyo might be watching João Ricardo Vieira go 91 on Whooper right now. One last buck. From Spanish Chiriadas to global championships, from rodeo backlots to $1 million paydays, bull riding has never stopped evolving. But through every twist, one thing stayed the same. One cowboy, one bull, 8 seconds. No excuses. It's more than a sport, it's a battle of will, a living legend in motion. And whether you're cheering from the stands in Vegas or watching from a dirt arena in Oklahoma, every ride writes a new chapter in the wild, unbelievable history of bull riding.
Marco, broken ribs and all, battling through, and woo-wee!
Still craving more stories from the chutes? Hit that subscribe, drop your favorite bull riding memory in the comments, and stick around, because in bull riding, the next 8 seconds might just make history.